A letter to my 85-year-old self. I sat down and wrote a letter to my 85-year-old self, and I use this as a point of reference. Anytime I'm feeling down and there are so many things on my mind that I can't control, I refer to this letter to my 85-year-old self to help me keep myself grounded. Life will throw a lot of things at you, and if you don't have a point of reference, something you can look at to remind you of the reason why you're doing what you're doing, you keep on going around in circles and you'll not have a true purpose for what you're doing. So I always ask myself, will the 85-year-old version of myself really be happy about this decision I'm making today? And if the answer is no, why am I spending so much of my mental resources and my strength and my time on something that the 85-year-old version of myself would not be happy with the decision I made? And this point of reference has actually helped me in so many ways. I'm going to read this out to you. I hope you take a lesson or two from this. Paragraph 1. I'm currently in my late 30s and I pray for good health and long life to one day read this letter. Nothing is guaranteed. We are not even guaranteed 70 years on this earth. We are not guaranteed 60 years of this earth. We don't have all the time that we think we have over here. I pray that I one day look at this and I'm, God willing, 85 years old, and I can look at the things that I've written and look back at it and be grateful and just think about the thought process I am in right now in my late 30s and what the 85-year-old version of myself will think about this letter. Paragraph 2. No matter how low you fall, don't forget God. No matter how high you climb, don't forget God. I put this as a reminder because I never wanted to forget the central role He plays in my life. I think sometimes along the journey, sometimes we forget. We start to think that we are Superman, that we can do everything, especially when things are going right. And somebody said something to me some time ago. I remember we were talking about leadership and we're talking about some of the decisions we think that certain people who say they want to become president, all of a sudden, it seems like they change when they become president. And someone said something to me that you don't know what money and power does, so you should pray that anytime you're in that position, money and power does not corrupt you, because most people, I believe, have the right intent when they go into things like politics. But what usually happens is they lose their focus and all of a sudden they start to do the same thing they were fighting against. So my prayer is that no matter how high I climb or no matter how low I fall, I don't forget the central point in my life, which is God. I want Him to be the anchor of my life, irrespective of what I'm going through. I want to also always remember that I'm a man of faith. I believe in God, and irrespective of how high or low things get, I should always remember God, irrespective of what is happening in my life. Paragraph 3. There will always be critics, people who have an opinion that haven't done anything commendable. Don't let them get to you. I remember growing up, I used to be very concerned about what people thought about me. And it used to kind of remote control me in everything I did. Like, if I don't do this, people talk, they're going to gossip about me. And I remember some time ago, I hit this eureka moment. I remember that I was reading the Word of God and I realized that every single person, irrespective of who they are and what they did, they were criticized. And I was like, wow, even Jesus Christ was criticized. It made me come to the realization that there will always be critics, irrespective of what you are doing. And I went to even the pages of, I remember Joel Austin, T.D. Jakes, all these different pastors and the rest. I was like, there are people who are trying to win souls. And I went to their comment sections and the way people were criticizing them. It doesn't matter what you're doing. People always criticize you. It doesn't matter whether you're a pastor trying to win souls for God, or you are a teacher, or you are a businessman, or you are a politician. Whatever you decide to do, people always criticize you. But I should never let people's opinions remote control me or influence my actions in any way. The funny part is most people have something negative to say. Most of the time, they haven't done anything themselves. Never let that influence you in any way. Stay grounded, stay focused, and keep running your course. Paragraph 4. Honor your parents when they are alive. Honor your parents when they are gone. And this hits deep. If you go on my social media page, especially Instagram, that's where I've posted the most. You scroll all the way down, you see that for a long time, before even my mom passed, I'll always put her pictures up. I'll always celebrate her. I'll always be saying things about her, even sometimes teasing her. I never wanted to be the type of person that they only seem to celebrate their parents when they are gone. And the same for my dad. If you go on my page, you see I post him, I talk about him, I appreciate him. The whole purpose is not waiting until they are gone to do some of these things. I remember some time ago, a friend of mine who lost his mother said something to me I'll never forget. I called him, he was in tears, he was crying. I had no words to say to him, and One thing he said to me that I'll never forget, that time my mom was still alive, he says that don't wait. Never ever wait to say that you're going to achieve certain things before you celebrate your parents. Do everything you can to celebrate them because you don't know the days that they're going to be here. And it really hit me hard. Like, it made me really think, because at that point I was still young. I felt like, oh, my parents are still, healthy, strong. Nothing is going to happen to them. But it made me realize that we are all mortals and we have an expiration date. Nobody knows when that date is, but you don't wait until they're gone to start celebrating them. As much as you can, celebrate them now. Most of the time, if you wait, there's this sense of regret on the things that you could have done that you didn't do. If there's something you can do whilst you're alive, do it. It doesn't matter how small it is. Most of the time, your parents, they just want to be able to know that you're good, and they also want to feel loved. That's it. So all these things we are thinking about, of the grandiose things we are looking to do, most of them, they don't really care for that. They just want to know that we are doing okay and we are walking in love. So if you look in the introduction point of my book, 100K Secrets, this is my first book and it was dedicated to my mom and dad. You can see it right here. I dedicated it both to my mom and my dad because I felt like they played a very pivotal role in my life to shape and mold me to the person I am today. I do my best not to miss an opportunity to celebrate my parents. My mom has now transitioned. She's no longer here. My goal is to just keep her spirit alive and keep her thoughts in people's minds so that even though she's not here, she's still some way, somehow is impacting people by the memories and the impact she made in other people's lives. So that is my goal and that's my hope. And I hope one day I can look at this and just remind myself that whether my parents are here or not, I should still honor them as much as I can with whatever I have. Paragraph 5. Business is tough, but you are tougher. Don't let hard work deter you from your goals and dreams. When you are in entrepreneurship, you know how important accountability is and how important having a tough mental frame is. Because business is not for the weak. Business is going to shake you, roll you up, kick you, raise you up. It's going to do so many things to you and you have nobody to point than yourself when things are not going well. My goal is to remind myself, irrespective of where I am in my business journey, I shouldn't let hard work deter me from my goals and my dreams. It's very typical to just throw in a towel when you feel like, oh, there's nothing really happening over here. But this is a constant reminder that I shouldn't give up on my dreams. I shouldn't give up on the things that I said I was going to do. I should always stay the course and I should always remind myself, why did I even start a business? Why did I become an entrepreneur? Business is not the easiest route. Forget all the things you see on social media. It's challenging to run a business, to manage people, to deliver a service at the same quality all the time. But I've told myself that if it's hard, we'll do it hard. If it's easy, we'll do it easy. It doesn't matter how it is. We just have to get it done. And that is the mindset I approach business with. It doesn't matter whether it's hard or easy. I should show up every day and do my part. And I shouldn't let hard work deter me from the goals I have and the dreams I have. There are days that things are tough. There are days that things are difficult. But if you don't have the right frame of mind to be able to carry you through the tough times, it's very easy to throw in the towel. So I pray that no matter how things get, no matter how difficult things get, I can still tell myself that I can do hard things. I can pursue this all the way to the end. I can show up and give my best. Paragraph 6. It's okay to make a detour, but giving up is not an option. Many times we have goals and dreams. Sometimes we have to make little detours in order for it to happen and work. I remember when I first started my business and I was so excited, and when things were not going well many years ago, I decided to come to America, work the 9 to 5 and use that as a benchmark to get back into business. And it was very difficult for me because I remember back then all my profiles on LinkedIn and everywhere was like entrepreneur, owner of this business. And now I had to wipe everything down and apply for a job. It was a detour I made. I understood that in that state I was in my life, I didn't have any other choice. I just moved to a new country and I needed to survive. But I remember that when things started to go south, when I was working 9 to 5, it just reminded me of, what am I doing here? This is not my initial plan. This is not the thing I said I was going to do in the initial stages. But I guess maybe at the point you get comfortable, you don't realize that you're spending your years doing some of these things until something happens to shake you up, to make you realize that this is not your original destination. This is just a point in your journeys. I made a detour in my life and I've made many detours. Even my whole eBay experience when I was buying stuff and selling on eBay was a detour. Irrespective of what happens, giving up is not an option. So we came into this not to just dip our little toes into the water and say, oof, it's too cold, and decide to just go somewhere else. We decided to immerse ourselves into this. There's nothing wrong working 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong starting a business. You just have to ask yourself, what do you want? And how can you position yourself to achieve the thing that you want? You might make detours every now and then, but irrespective of how many detours you make, never give up. Paragraph 7. Before you take advice from anyone, look at the results they are producing in their life. This is a tough one. So I decided a while ago that before I take advice from someone, I should look at the results they have in their life before I take the advice. If someone is giving me financial advice, I should make sure that they at least have some positive results when it comes to their finances. If someone is giving me relationship advice, my hope is that they're in a great relationship for many years now. If someone is giving me business advice, they should have been able to do the thing that they're giving me advice for. So it's a frame I use for me to filter out signals over noise. Everybody has an opinion. If you ask a question, almost everybody has an opinion about it. The opinion they have, is it just a thought or is something that is tried and tested with results? There's a big difference. You just don't get up and be taking advice from just anybody. Maybe the person is your best friend, so you're asking them, what do you think I should do with my life? What do you think I should do with my career? Yes, people can advise you, and it's okay to be able to listen to what they have to say. But the final decision is always yours. But before you even apply that decision to yourself, make sure those people have the results in their life. It's going to save you a lot. And I hope the 85-year-old version of myself can watch this to say, yes, this is something that we all agree on, even at 85. Don't sit there and just think that, oh, just because somebody is close to you, a family, a friend, a colleague, they are qualified enough to advise you on your life. Filter that information to know if it works for you or not. Just because someone is your friend or your close relative doesn't give them the exclusive right to give you advice. Always verify who the advice is coming from and what results they have in their life. Paragraph 8. Partner with God by doing your human part. A lot of times people will pray to God, they fast, they shout, they scream, they stay up all night. But one of the things I'm learning is we're in partnership with God. We just don't get up and pray without doing our part. We have to make sure that if we are looking for a job, we are just not praying for the job. We are going out and putting ourselves in positions that people can find us and the kind of expertise we have to hire. If you are looking for a business contract or you are looking for clients or customers, same. You have to put yourself in a position so that these clients and the customers can find you. Yes, God can do miracles and make opportunities and doors open that you least expected. However, you have to make sure that when you show up, you're showing up correct. You are well dressed, you are doing your part. You just don't say that, oh, God said this, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to fold my legs and wait. It is not the most sensible way to approach life. You need to be in partnership with God to do your human part. If you're supposed to create videos, create them. If you're supposed to go for a meeting, go for the meeting. If you're supposed to drive a couple of miles to just meet with somebody that you know is important, do it. You know, you don't expect things to just fall from the sky on your lap. God works through people and with people. So your goal is to show up as the best version of yourself, to put yourself in a position to be a better partner with God by doing your human part. This is the first letter to my 85-year-old self. My goal is to be able to add some more to this down the line.